Hello guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today I am going to be talking about something that every person experiences. Today we're going to be talking about love and relationships. Because I've been in love before, I am an expert at this conversation. Not for real. I would not say that I'm the best person to be giving advice when it comes to relationships or love, but then at the same time I'd say I'm the exact best person. Like, I'm the best person to come to when it comes to relationships, or when it comes to problems in relationships, when it comes to self-love. Who knows, like, who could benefit from my trials and tribulations in this life. I'm really hoping that my bangs don't get messed up by me putting this headband on. If at the end of this video I have a headband on again, just know it's because of my bangs. They like to give me a hard time. In last week's video, when I was editing it and looking back and watching it back, I realized I sounded really aggressive. And when I speak on things, especially in these videos, I'm really just speaking to myself, because the Lord knows I need that advice. So if I come off as aggressive, or if I seem aggressive, or it's just that's how I communicate. That's how I communicate. I don't know how to not be assertive and kind of rough around the edges, to be honest with you. We're gonna talk about love, because it's a common emotion. I think we all struggle with loving ourselves, or finding love, or being okay with not having love by another person. So I thought this would be a fun little video. I'm gonna do my makeup. Probably not gonna do anything crazy because it is currently 2 in the morning already. And I probably won't be wearing lashes today because I am gonna take this makeup off as soon as I finish this video. I titled this note as what I learned having my heart broken 1,000 times before. I'm gonna list the products that I use down below. I'm trying to get better at doing that because I'm a makeup artist. I do makeup, and I'm sure that somebody is gonna eventually want to know what I'm doing or what I'm using. You know that saying where it's like, if you don't love yourself, nobody will? Obviously that's not 100% the truth. You'll still experience love if you don't love yourself. You will find and go through things that kind of teach you what love is, whether it's a negative experience or a positive experience. You'll experience love even if you don't love yourself. We all want to be loved, and we all want to be cherished and cared for. And I think we live in a time where a lot of people are hurt and insecure. So we're all just like affecting each other. Like, we're taking out our insecurities and our pain on one another. We're gonna experience like weak moments, and we're gonna experience loneliness. And when you're lonely, sometimes you'll do some dumbass shit, especially when you have trauma. Love is different for everyone. Obviously, every person has a different taste. Every person has a different view on what love is and what love feels like to them. There's different love languages that we all speak differently. Obviously, love isn't always just relationships and sexual or intimate. Sometimes love is platonic. Sometimes the best relationships you'll ever have are with your friends. Heartbreak is something you cannot avoid, unfortunately. And that's scary, and that's hard, because for a lot of people, you experience heartbreak at a very young age, and it scares you away from ever sharing your heart or sharing love with another person or having experiences, because you don't want to get hurt. Nobody wants to get hurt. If you feel love for someone, don't be ashamed to show it. I don't know if it's just me, but I feel like if you're drawn to somebody, if you love someone, let the people you love know that you love them. Because life is short, and you never know what someone's going through. And even if they don't respond, or they don't react the way that you hope them to, or even if they don't love you back, love them anyways. Love anyways. Like, allow yourself to be vulnerable, because even if they don't take it the way that you hope they would, you're still gonna feel better inside knowing that you were true to yourself and you allowed yourself to speak up for your emotions. Don't settle for somebody who's just gonna string you along. If someone's not right for you and you love them, like, of course, like, a lot of the time, like, that's the problem in toxic relationships or abusive relationships, is that you love that person even when you know they're not good for you. And the thing is, don't be ashamed of the people that you love, right? Like, obviously, if they're not good for you, get the hell away from them. Walk away. Know when it's time to walk away, and know when you deserve better, that you need to go and find that. And it's hard to walk away from certain situations and certain people, but sometimes walking away can be like the biggest sign of love. Like, sometimes leaving a person is the best way you could love a person. You'll accept and tolerate so much until you emotionally and physically can't anymore. So just love them. Just let yourself love people, okay? Let yourself experience love, even if heartbreak is a possibility, even if heartbreak is a potential. Because I'm gonna be honest with you, it is. Sometimes that heartbreak is like the best thing that could happen to you, because yes, it hurts and yes, it sucks, but you learn a lot in the process. I've been in so many situations in my life where I would really care deeply about people, or I'd love someone and they didn't feel the same way. And a lot of the time that can mess with your ego. You want to reject them because rejection hurts and rejection sucks. And your initial reaction when being rejected or experiencing rejection is to, like, your ego just like might flare, depending on the person. For me, my ego flares and it's like, oh hell no, you're not gonna reject me. It's okay if someone rejects you. It's okay if someone doesn't love you back. It's okay if someone doesn't care as deeply as you care. Just let them know you love them. That person might just need to hear that another person cares about them. So tell the people you love that you fucking love them, and allow yourself to love people, even if it gets you hurt, even if they don't love you back. Okay, just love them. Take pictures, even if it will hurt to see one day. I don't know if anyone else does this, but when I go through a breakup, or when I get hurt by somebody, I have to erase them from my memory, from my phone, from my camera roll, everything. None of us are here forever. Maybe right now, today, you hate that person, but maybe 20 years from now, you'll look back and you'll be like, I'm happy I went through that. I hope that person's good. I hope that's how we are. It's a little different when you're in a relationship. You don't want to have pictures of your ex. It's weird to expect a person to not care about somebody that they once cared about. And that doesn't necessarily mean like, oh, you're gonna keep these pictures and like you're gonna look back at it like, oh my god, I love this person. Especially if you're in a if you end up in a relationship with somebody else. If it was a good memory, keep a little something of it. And if someone's weird about you having pictures from a specific time in your life, like if someone's gonna be like, oh, you have a picture of you and your ex from 30 years ago, keep something, keep some keepsake. We all die, and that person might pass on one day, and you might wish you kept a photo or two. I hope that made sense. And I hope that did not just make me sound like the most toxic person in the world. I'm sure not everybody agrees with that. It really depends on the situation, and it depends on the person. Keep a picture or two. Take the pictures. After my first ever like breakup, because I would post about that person so much, like I would post them like they were like the most beautiful art piece in the world. And then after that, I was like, I'm never sharing somebody on my profile ever again. I'm never posting pictures of somebody. I'm not going to take pictures of the person I am in a relationship with or talking with, because I just don't like when it ends. I don't want to have to go through that pain of like getting rid of everything. Get over that fear and just keep a picture or two. Take the pictures, even if you delete all of them, because maybe that's the better option. Take the pictures. That can be with friendships, you know. And yes, it hurts when things end and then you have all these memories, all these pictures and little like trinkets and stuff that just remind you of that person. It hurts. And then there comes a point when you have to get rid of it, right? Keep like one or two things that will bring back good memories. It's the same as toxic family. You know what I mean? Like, imagine you have a toxic childhood. It's still nice to have like a picture of a time that wasn't 100% toxic. You know what I mean? Like, does that make sense to anybody? Does that make sense to anyone besides me? I feel like some of these topics I've talked about in other videos, especially my last two, because I've been kind of talking about, I keep bringing up relationships and stuff. Like I'm some kind of guru or some kind of expert. I'm really not. I've just gotten hurt a lot in my life. I've experienced a lot of pain. When it's time to walk away, you have to find the strength to do it. When things are no longer good, when things are no longer healthy, when you are no longer happy with the person, okay? Because that's a normal thing to happen. People outgrow each other and it's painful and it hurts because sometimes people outgrow you. Maybe you fear that you won't find that connection again, or you won't find love again. Like, genuinely, guys, like there had been times where I would stay in a relationship because I was afraid that I wouldn't find better. That's the biggest lie you can tell yourself. Because when you're not happy with somebody, yet you stay with that person, you are depriving the both of you from finding real happiness, from finding real love. Love is not about possession. Love is not about owning somebody. Love is not about, oh, this person is my person. And sometimes that's a hard pill to swallow, especially when you have abandonment issues. Like, you just want somebody you know is going to stick by your side. But at the end of the day, no person is entitled to staying with you or anything like that. Like, people's feelings change. People go through things. And yeah, sometimes people are not nice about it. Sometimes people will just dip, okay? I would say my best advice in those types of situations is just not to take it as personal. And this was probably one of the best advice I ever got from a person, is that another person's actions have nothing to do with you, honestly. People make the choices that they make because of their own insecurities or their own experiences or their own trauma, okay? So say if someone cheated on you, say if someone just left you out of nowhere, they have their own issues and it got nothing to do with you, okay? Unfortunately, you just got caught up in the fire and you got caught up in it. Like, you had to be the person who experienced it. And I'm not saying that that's fun. I'm not saying that that's fair. It's not. People who cheat, I've had situations where I've really, really, really loved and cared for somebody. And then there comes a point where if you really love someone and you know you're not what's good for them, or they're not what's good for you, and you're just not good for each other, you have to walk away. You have to end things. And sometimes you have to be the bigger person. You have to be the one who goes, okay, we're not healthy for each other. We got to cut this shit out. And you have to be the one to walk away. And it hurts and it's hard. And that person might resent you for it. That person might look at you and hate you and make you out to be like such a terrible person because of their pain and their hurt and like what they're experiencing. And it's hard and it changes how you see that person. And it's really revealing of how that person is or who that person is. But at the end of the day, you cannot stick around. And maybe that person will never know you were doing what was best for the both of you. There's no better way to show someone that you love them than by acknowledging that you two aren't good for each other, or acknowledging that you're not good with each other or good for each other, and allowing them to find what was right for them and allowing yourself to find what's right for you. When things are not meant to be, let them not be. Okay? Let it end. Okay? Don't try to force anything. Don't force relationships. Don't force connections. When things end, let it go. Okay? And it's hard. It's hard sometimes. There is no better way to show yourself that you love and value yourself than to finally walk away from something that is not good for you. Sister, I'm in the middle of filming a video.
Okay, sis, I wanted to say I love you and good night.
I love you and good night. I like the blue lights. What are you drinking? Chocolate milk?
No, I made it's a brownie and cup.
Ooh,
by Kodak Bear. Kodak Cakes.
Well, I hope you enjoy your little cake, sis.
Alright.
Love you.
Alright.
Bye. What if this is the best I can get? What if this is it for me? What if I leave this person, I never find better? Right? Right? You ever think that? All right. Now I want you in those moments, if you're in a situation like that right now and you genuinely go, oh, like, I feel like I deserve better, but I don't really know. What if you can? What if you do find better? What if better is definitely out there? And if you're contemplating it, it definitely is. I promise you, you will. So get out of that situation, girl. Get out of it. Get out of it. Run for the motherfucking hills. And sometimes it's hard to let people go. Like I said, especially if you have attachment issues. It will get to the point where you resent this person if you stay with them. And that's not fair to either of you. So just walk away, baby. What if you're with someone and you're like afraid that if you leave them, like it would really hurt them? This was probably like one of the biggest struggles I had when it comes to breakups. I would get deeply connected to people and they'd be deeply connected to me, and I would be so afraid of hurting them that, like, I did have a situation, my most recent breakup, like my last breakup, which was like 2 years ago. I really cared about the person and I really did love the person, but it was so toxic and so draining at times. And we both had our insecurities. There was times where I felt like if I left this person, I'm gonna destroy them. And I didn't want that for them. So I stayed with them and I would stay in this relationship. And like I said, that will only build resentment. What's gonna end up happening is you're just gonna keep experiencing more and more of these things that cause for you to want to get out, until you literally have no other choice but to block that person on everything. Some people cannot take, it's not working out, I think we should end this, as an answer. And that's no disrespect to that person, honestly. Like, we all go through our shit. If someone break up with you, just let them break up with you. 100% deserved better than what I was feeling for that person, and will find better than me. And I know that's hard to believe. Like, how could anyone ever find better than me? But you will. You'll find your cup of tea. Someone who tolerates your bullshit, you know? Just not me. So detach, little one, you know? Detach. And if someone ever tells you that they're the best that you'll ever have, sleep with their best friend. I'm just kidding. Don't do that unless their best friend's super hot. Walk the fuck away. Get out of that. Leave that bitch for the dust. I feel like we're in like hookup culture, and this obviously does not apply for every person, okay? But if you're like me and you're severely traumatized, then this is for you. Hookups and situationships is never gonna give you the love you deserve, okay? And I know when you experience heartbreak, I'm not saying hookups are bad. Say if you are looking for a connection and someone just wants to hook up. Because here's the fun thing about people these days. They won't want anything serious, but they will role play as the person you're in a relationship with, because they know that bringing out those emotions will get them what they want, which is most of the time just a poom poom, you know? Sometimes we get our hearts broken and we think, oh, you know what? Like, what will make me feel so much better right now? Hooking up with someone else. And sometimes that is the remedy. Sometimes that's all it takes. Sometimes that's all you need. But in other times, it's not. I went and finished my makeup off of camera. Sorry about that, guys. Sorry about that. Take everything I say with a grain of salt, because I'm not an expert. I'm not you. I don't know what you're going through. I don't know what you've experienced, and I don't know where you stand. And also, I'm still experiencing life on my own, and I'm sure that a couple years from now, my opinions might change, or maybe they won't. Maybe they'll stand their ground. Maybe, who knows? All I want to say is, if you're hooking up with people, or if you are allowing yourself to settle for situationships just to experience a connection with a person, or just to avoid being alone, I can't express to you why being alone is sometimes the best thing that could happen for you. Being alone is scary. Being lonely is hard. But choosing to be on your own is probably one of the most rewarding things that you could do for yourself. Just these past couple years, since I've decided to be single and stay single, was really hard. It was hard at first, because genuinely I kept wanting to connect, and I kept wanting to fill that void, like fill the void of like past relationships or past connections. Like, I would fall for people, or I would catch feelings for people who were just genuinely not it. And I don't mean any disrespect by that. Sometimes it just isn't meant to be, okay? And I would try to, like, in my head, try to twist things as much as possible to convince myself that no, this is meant for me. When you love yourself, it's a whole different ballgame. And that sounds so cliche. You should always, always, always do what is best for you, or best for yourself, and you should consider your own happiness before trying to make anybody else happy. If you're looking for a deep connection with a person, if you're looking just to connect with a person, and somebody is just looking for sex or a hookup, you're not going to leave that situation satisfied. So don't do it. I mean, do it, but just know you're going to learn some things from it, and just know that you're going to repeat cycles until you finally had enough. One tip of advice I could give for like self-love is to literally date yourself. If you experience a lot of toxic relationships to the point where it's like, oh, maybe it's me, maybe I'm the problem. If you've ever had that kind of realization, then sometimes it's good to just take a break and focus on yourself. Even if you're going through the shits right now and you're repeating cycles and you're filling voids just to not feel alone, know that that's okay too, okay? Like, let yourself experience things, okay? Let yourself be in the moment. If you're like me, sometimes you have to get your heart broken a million times before you ever get anywhere. Sometimes you have to walk away from so many people that you care and love about until you get to a point where you're like, I'm doing this because I love myself. How you talk to yourself inside your mind and to your body and everything is a huge factor on how you'll receive love. Some people are just content. They don't want to settle down, and they just want to hook up, and they want to be able to connect with people in a physical way without having to get emotionally involved. Now, that's somebody's cup of tea. It's not exactly mine. Sometimes it is. I've had moments where it was, but then it always backfires on me, and I realize that's not the type of person that I am, and I always end up feeling pain because I want more than what I initially went in for. Thank you so much for watching this video with me. If you got anything from this, or if you have questions, or if you want to leave your own input or anything like that, or your own experiences. I mean, guys, I would love that, because genuinely I don't know everything, and maybe what you experience could benefit me and help me. So definitely share your input down below. I hope that you're all safe and having a very, very, very beautiful month of July, because this should be my first video in July. I love you guys so much. Thank you for all the feedback that I've been receiving on my videos. I hope that you like this. I hope that this is beneficial and helpful to someone out there. I'll see you guys in the next video. I didn't really show the makeup part, but